today, and it is an absolute pleasure having you here.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for having me.
where are you connecting from?
I am London-based.
You're London-based. Fantastic. If you're in London, then obviously we have to ask the obvious question: how's the weather?
It's actually beautiful. There's been a sunny streak for the past week or so, and I'm hoping we'll just hold on to it for the rest of the summer. So might be ambitious, but now that we're out of lockdown, it's a whole new world.
Fantastic. So we're here to hear from you, obviously, about your company, and then, of course, your community team, what you're looking for. So the next 10 minutes is for you. So we're going to be opening up the question and answer opportunity to everyone. And then you can actually ask questions in the session chat as well as the Q&A, depending on how they see fit. So the stage is all yours. Would you like me to remain on the stage just in case anything happens? I'm going to be on mute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fantastic. It's up to you whether you want to share or you want to just talk straight up. That's entirely up to you. Great.
All right. I think I'll just talk, but happy to follow up with anyone who's interested with additional information and slides and all that stuff. So hi, everyone. I'm really glad to be chatting with you today. I'm Lauren Gross, and I'm the Managing Director of the Mesa at IG Advisors. And IG Advisors is a strategic consultancy, London-based, but we work with clients around the globe, focused on we support nonprofits, we support philanthropists, and then we support businesses, all who are looking to really level up their social and environmental change strategies and actually implement those changes. And so in that work, we've really begun to understand what philanthropists and inheritors and change wants and need in the philanthropic space. And we also hear from nonprofits about a lot of their needs. And in that work, we discovered there's a huge unmet opportunity around community building and really bringing people together to feel open and vulnerable and feel like they can really use their money in much ways and ultimately mobilize more resources for good through community. And doing so, just a little bit more background on that, the philanthropy space, I'd say we're a little behind in terms of innovation to other sectors. And everything's pretty analog. So we really were set on a mission to do that. In walks the Mesa, alongside the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, we have been building, piloting, building, testing a platform specifically focused on building communities. We're calling them impact communities, so socially driven communities that are really looking to mobilize more resources, as I said before. And in that work, we're definitely a startup initiative within IG Advisors. And we're really looking for someone who's really going to spearhead the build of a community function in the organization. So we've got the product side of things under control, and now we're really ready to understand how can we create better community strategies, support impact communities with their community management and moderation. How can we really engage the online and offline community building that's starting to happen more and more in the social impact space, but there's still probably a lot more room for growth. So this individual would really be running that. They'd serve on the leadership team of building that out, and they'd be the ones who are kind of asking the hard questions. What should a community function look like? How should it operate? Who are we hiring that live underneath that? How are they going to be working directly with clients who ask for community strategy and community services alongside the platform? What ways can we bring community functionality better into the platform so it's serving to ultimately, hopefully, we call it fix the flow of resources for good. So that's a little bit about the role. What else can I share? I'll just go a little bit into the specific aspects of it. So the role will actually include, I'd say, 3 primary components. It's content and community strategy and implementation. So really understanding, collaborating closely with the head of product to suggest and refine functionality that supports best practices in community management and engagement, supporting, creating, and building on current methodologies for both online and offline community management, developing tools, really at the basic levels of this, which is maybe it's really exciting for some, but I think it's the right move for someone who really wants to get their hands dirty. Then some business development, of course. How can we continue to really build out this function, as I mentioned, and then the leadership and team management. We want this person to be a leader on the team, and we really want them to spearhead how we take the Mesa into the future. So we're asking ourselves a lot of questions about the business model and how we could to these impact communities. We're definitely at the beginning, but we've seen some really, really exciting initial reactions across the sector and beyond. So a lot of room for movement in the future. And then just some of the qualifications we'd be looking for. So someone who has experience in building communities. We'd be looking for someone who's ready to take a jump in their mid-level career or just started in their in a executive role, so 6 to 8 years experience. Someone who's really a problem solver, who is really interested in building communities, has a knack for that kind of relationship management. And someone who's just, as I said before, pioneering, wanting to, be entrepreneurial in this work. Okay, I am American, so I speak really, really fast. And so I think I've kind of given the spiel there, but I'd be happy to take any questions or follow up with anyone who might be interested. Share a little bit more.
Fantastic. Lauren, thank you very much. I think it's been very clear, crystal clear to me anyway. I lived in the UK about 10 years, so I've heard so many sort of different accents. Some of them are very, very, clear, and the other ones need getting a little bit used to. Certainly yours is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, good. I was going to say, which category do I fall into?
Thank you for explaining. The job looks fantastic, really, really cool. So let's give precedence to the people who are interested. So Joanna is asking, hello, I've heard of Mesa before. Your work sounds very interesting. Love that you're creating impact communities. Are your roles only focused in England, or are they open to the rest of Europe? Which is a question that I had in mind as well, which is an important question to answer.
Yeah. And I'd say we're open to both, especially in our new remote world. We've seen what is possible in terms of interacting and engaging. So definitely we're open to both. I think our preference would probably be England based, just due to the nature of startup. But I would definitely say if you're based anywhere in Europe, feel free to apply.
Fantastic. Thanks for clearing that up. And Laura's got a question. If we are interested in learning more, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
I'm putting my email in the chat.
Yeah, in the session. Yeah, Lauren at igadvisors.com.
Yeah.
Lauren, can I ask you to also put it, that's in the Q&A tab. If you can put it in the session chat as well, that would be great.
Yes, I'll do that. And then I'll definitely, I could also send, I put it in the Q&A tab, put it in the sessions tab.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what I should have done? Let's see if I have it readily available. That would have been the smart thing. I will also put in here the job description from LinkedIn for anyone who's interested.
Fantastic. Yeah, so people can actually get in touch with you as well. So
yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So Lauren, I think that's been great.
Great.
So but I personally don't have any other questions. So let me just check once again. So Linda says thank you very much. So hopefully you get some interest in in the position. It looks like it's an amazing opportunity, really. So there are no further questions from what I can see. So with that in mind, so let's go back into, as we say in the UK, the swing of things, and then basically go backward to the original schedule, which was schedule, as we say in the UK, to Max. And Lauren, thank you very much. You've been so kind in sharing this opportunity and more about Mesa, and wishing you all the very best from our end.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So let's go back to the original schedule, as I've said. So let's bring up Max Rothery from Finimize, and just inviting Max on the stage, and then just going back to the original arrangement. So just waiting for Max to arrange his camera and microphone. Max, hello.
Hi. I hope I'm not late. Too late.
No, it's okay. We've had a few people. So as we say in the UK, we were just chopping and changing a few things. So no problems whatsoever over there. And it is great to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How's the conference going?
Oh, it's going swimmingly, as they say. So nice. It's really cool. So yeah, we've had some very cool interactive sessions, and of course some rock star speakers in the main stage. And it's the first EMEA focused event, and that's why we're so excited. And and hopefully this job fair is going to work wonderful for both your company and someone who's interested in your company. So the stage is yours to talk about Finimize, which you're the VP of, and of course the opportunity and the community team, if you so wish to share.
Yeah, sure thing. So how does this work best? Do we go back and forth with questions, or do you just want me to run about Finimize and the role, and we'll see what comes in?
I mean, the format we have is we have about 10 minutes, in the sense that, you know, for about 5 minutes, it's up to you whether you would like to share something, or you would like to just talk straight up about your company, about your community structure. And then we give another 5 minutes, obviously, to the questions that people might actually have. And, you know, that's actually wonderful in, you know, uncovering areas which may not be clear beforehand. Yeah.
All right. I'll try and keep it brief, and would love any questions from either you or the audience. All right. Well, I'll start by touching on what Finimize is, if you haven't heard of us. Finimize is setting out to build one of the world's largest investing communities. So we've got over 1 million subscribers to our free newsletter and tens of thousands of subscribers to our premium subscription. Now, currently, I manage the premium community, and we've got a couple of colleagues of mine. I think Michelle's even here today. Hey, Michelle, shout out. Looks after our free community. So I'm now looking for someone to come in and take over that premium community for Finimize. Now, the reason that I'm trying to sort of stay open over to who that role is because really all I'm looking for is someone with a passion to solve difficult community challenges. I think it's genuinely the most interesting community challenge that you can get out there at the moment. I think if you think about 2020, 2021, the two biggest trends that everyone is talking about is investing and community. So you'd sit right at the intersection of figuring out how that works. But I'm open to having someone with more experience come in and tell us what they want to do with the strategy, the business proposition, the onboarding, the moderation. I'm also open to someone junior to come in and work with us, and we'll figure that out together. So when it comes to who we're looking for, I'm open. I just want you to be passionate about community and excited to solve the difficult challenges. So what community looks like at Finimize? I think the first thing that attracted me to Finimize is that, you know, we are so bought into being a community from day one. You know, we are nothing else other than a community. The newsletter started and it was a community. It actually happened. We then, based on our key insights from that community and getting everyone together, then built our paid product, and all with this goal, we're here to help each other become smarter investors. Because I don't know about you, but when I tried to learn about investing, it was so impenetrable, so overwhelming, so noisy, and that has only accelerated to this year. So if you're hearing your friends talk about investing down the pub, that is what's changed in the industry. If you're trying to explain to people what cryptocurrencies are, if you're hearing about Tesla stock, Bitcoin, all of that is like excitement and pop culture, and we want to take that interest and bring it into good investing behaviors. So we want to create safe spaces, exciting, interesting, engaging spaces for you to learn. And you don't need a background in investment. Like, the best thing about our community is they're all intelligent. They're all young, affluent, work at really smart jobs. They know they're smart. They figured out the rest of the world. But for some reason, when it comes to investing and finance, it remains charts, gray hair, all of this concept of we're smart, you're dumb. Now, what we're trying to build is an empowerment brand that takes all of this interest and it encourages more and more people to invest in smart, safe, educational ways, but also to give back by helping others. Because the best way to learn is not just to consume content, but you have to practice. You have to learn by doing it. You have to invest in the stock market. You also have to discuss the same way that you would learning a language. So that is broadly what we do at Community at Finimize. I think I'm looking for someone to take on the big picture and figure out the day-to-day of how we can get the most out of our members, but really focused on our paying subscribers. And then the final question that I'd like to answer is, the nice thing about this role is it's directly tied to revenue. You're managing our premium subscription base. And when you're a premium subscription company, so if you think of any large media subscription business like Wall Street Journal, New York Times, your churn rate or your retention rate is the most important metric. Now, we fully subscribe and built our entire strategy around people come for our content, but they stay for our community. So I'm looking for someone that wants to take that on, really focus on building engaging relationships with our members, sharing those stories all across the team, but also you're responsible for the most important metric of revenue in our business.
Max, thanks very much. Thanks a million. And the questions, are coming flooding in, really. It looks like people are genuinely excited about this opportunity and the company and your offering. So Pixie, we know very well. Hello, Pixie. How are you doing? Is this an individual contributor role or manager? She's asking.
What does that mean? Does that mean, will you have a team to manage, or are you running this all on your own?
Possibly. So let's ask Pixie to clarify if at all possible. Yes, that's okay, what it means, she says.
Yeah, so this will be individual contributor. I think if you read, let me drop the job description in here. Go take a look at that job description, because the whole thing and the whole, oh, it's not sending, I'll send it in a sec. The whole thing about our brand, the whole thing about our company and working Finimize is we really promote autonomy. We're a team of about 20 to 25. So the fact that there's 3 of us in the community team is also already a large percentage. That's not going to change as the company scales. Like I said, we've got 1 million subscribers and tens of thousands, and we're scaling very fast. So day one, it's all figuring out this on your own. It's not managing a team. You're here to, your team, as Michelle can attest to, you have enough people to manage on a daily basis looking after our members. But yeah, individual contributor.
Fantastic. Thanks for answering that. So Nina's asking, Finimize, where are your members located? How long have you been running it? I run a personal finances and career improvement community in the United States.
Nice. So you know how challenging it can be. So we're a global community. 60% of our members are in the USA. I'd say 20% are in the UK, and the rest all around the world. So we actually, Michelle this year is on track to have 60,000 people attend Finimize meetups, and that is across more than 35, 40 countries. We used to do that in person. Now we've gone virtual. But yeah, this is a truly global community.
Fantastic. And of course, Michelle is putting some comments. Your community is your team, and we'll get to work side by side building this incredible community. Max and I are a lot of FUN, which is great. So fantastic, which is what you want in life, doesn't it? So very cool. We like it. So I have some more questions while I have a few more minutes. Thomas is asking something very important. This sounds like it could be emotionally charged work. So how does the company handle the risk of burnout? Is there good support internally for work-life balance?
How do we handle burnout? I guess it's part of your output. Like, I think if anyone's nearing burnout, you are gonna reduce your output for the company. So we work very hard. And it's very easy as any community manager to, and I've experienced this myself, to burn out and feel like you have to be available for your community 24/7. Especially like a big part of the premium community job, which is what I run today, is managing our group chat. They are going constantly all day, people asking questions. So I think it's just about building processes that, we can either teach you building your own structured processes, or you can come in with your own. But what I would like to keep reinforcing is like, this is about autonomy. If you're coming into a role and you want to give your best, then you better not burn out. And the way that we've got processes that we think help you from burning out, like set aside time, only have time when you're going to moderate that community, having really clear defined barriers between, work-life balance, making sure you go on holiday, all of this stuff that I don't think will be specific to our company. But yeah, we're aware of it.
Yeah, cool, very cool. So just one question, we've got about a minute left. There's one question from Pixie. What are the key OKRs this role focuses on? Maybe we can combine them just so that we can answer everybody. And Thomas is asking, if you were to go to keep up in the role, what would be your top priorities over the next couple of months? I think they're sort of tied up. So maybe you can do a few comments on that one.
Yeah, 100%. So the way that we like, I see you use the OKR framework. We use it slightly different, but it all adds up. And I'll try and answer this with you, Thomas, as well. We have one really clear promise to our community members, and that's that we're going to help you become smarter investors. Now, we survey them monthly, weekly, just following that metric, and everything else will filter down from there. But you will also have like specific metrics that I think you should focus on. If you think there's more important, we can do that. Retention being the one overarching metric, but also you've got, for example, first week engagement in the community. You've got retention within the groups. Across that pipeline, you're going to have individual metrics. You've got speed to onboarding, which again, you may want to reduce or and then what would I be working on? So what I'm working on now is really getting a structured process around our messaging, onboarding, embedding values. If you want to check out my Twitter, I wrote a piece only the other day just focusing on how cohorted communities are speed chess. And what I'm trying to do is embed those values, prioritizing leadership roles within those groups, and having a really strict content schedule for our premium members.
Fantastic. So Max, we're right on time, and thanks for explaining. This looks like a very, very exciting role, team, company, challenge. Everything is so cool, which is what communities should be. Thanks for coming along, and really, really appreciate your time. So if you could put your contact details maybe on the session chat so that people can actually either look at the job or maybe your Twitter handle and everything. So we're now going to go to Phil, and I'm going to take you off the screen right now. And thanks a million again, and thanks you and Michelle as well. You guys are stars. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
See you. All the best. So now we are going to move to select software reviews, going back to the actual program as intended. So Phil is with us. Hopefully it will be in a couple of minutes. Phil, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Phil Strazzulla. So I speak Italian, so I hope I pronounced the surname right.
I think you're doing a great job, better than I could.
Well, it's a really, really cool surname, and it's really cool to have you here. Where are you connecting from?
I am in Boston, Massachusetts.
Fantastic. Some Boston weather behind you.
It's actually a beautiful day here. I don't know what it is Celsius, but it's almost shorts weather. It's just that we've got sort of this screen in front of the window, so it looks gloomy, but it's actually really beautiful and sunny.
Yeah, I've noticed as you moved, the focus changed. So it's blue skies, it's fantastic. So
yeah. Give you a little sneak peek behind.
You can't complain about that. It's a beautiful city. So thanks for joining from Select Software Reviews, and you're the founder. So thanks for your time, and really, really appreciate you being here. So the format is, as you may have seen from the previous speakers, is about 10 minutes. So basically, talk about whatever you want about the company, the community structure, what you're looking for specifically, and then basically we'll leave another 5 minutes for the people to ask the questions. and I'll be available just in case you need any help.
Sounds good. I love the buongiorno in the chat. So, hey everybody, my name is Phil Strazzulla. I started this website, Select Software Reviews, a couple of years ago. And basically our mission is to help HR teams to find and buy the right software. I originally started my career off working in venture capital, always wanted to start a business. So I went to business school, taught myself how to program, started an HR tech business. And about 5 years into it, I hired somebody to be a general manager. So that was 2 years ago. I had a lot of free time, wanted to start another business. I love to learn. And a gap in the market that I saw is that every single day there are new HR and recruiting tools that come to market. And it's really, really complicated for these teams to find the right tools. The information on the internet is super biased. There are websites like G2 Crowder, Capterra, where the vast majority of people that leave reviews are actually paid to leave reviews. And so if you look up like the software that you hate the most on Capterra, it will have a 5-star rating. The other information obviously is from the vendors, and that's extremely biased. And so what we do is just spend a ton of time researching everything and try to write up the best unbiased research. We're kind of like NerdWallet or Wirecutter, if you're familiar with those websites, but specifically for HR technology. And over the last 2 years, we built a really big readership. We have about 30,000 companies that use our website every single month, and it grows every single month. So hopefully, another year from now, we'll have 50,000 or 100,000 companies a month. However, many of our readers come to our website and they hang out for 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe they watch a video, maybe they download something, and then they leave. And we don't see them again for another 6 months. And some of them write us emails asking questions. Some of us call us asking questions, or just say, hey, thanks for the research. And so we really wanted to start a community to foster more of an ongoing conversation. And so literally yesterday, I launched our community. And over the last 24 hours, we're up to about 30 members. Hopefully we'll be closer to 100 by the end of today. And really what we're looking for is somebody to come on as a founding community manager, that's the title, to entrepreneurially help us kind of start and grow this thing. My assumption is that over the next 90 days, I'm going to spend most of my time growing the membership, increasing engagement, welcoming people, just sort of being an interim community manager. But we're really looking for somebody to own this part of our website and really part of our business. I'm a very business-minded person, despite having this sort of altruistic North Star for what we do. And so we're always thinking about how does the community fit into the economic model behind our site and all the cool things that we can do from a sponsorship perspective, et cetera. And so, yeah, looking for somebody who's super entrepreneurial, who wants to dig in, who's excited, I think, about a somewhat unique opportunity to really start from the ground zero on this thing. Not quite ground zero, but there's barely a foundation in the earth. Our team is fully remote. We've got people in lots of different time zones, basically from the West Coast of the US through Eastern Europe. And so, working remotely from any place in EMEA is totally awesome. And we do a lot of async work. We have a couple meetings per week. We do, team building every now and again. And I think after COVID, we'll probably all meet up at a couple of HR conferences here and there. But yeah, that's a little bit about our company and the role.
Fantastic. I mean, Phil, you guys, you can't really get any fresher than this. The community is just founded. So
one day
it's a full remote role, and it looks like a very, very, very cool team. So really, really looking forward to see what people think. And thanks for all the details. And I sincerely hope that this takes off like a rocket, really. So Nina's asking, just looking at the questions. And Nina's asking, are the job postings somewhere to view?
Yes. it's on the CMX job board, and I can drop it in the chat after this as well, along with my email and LinkedIn URL for people to find me.
Fantastic. So that would be really, really great. And alongside with if there's any public, ways to contact you, like you maybe like follow you on Twitter or something, that will be really, really beneficial because people really do use those channels. Thomas is asking, what is your vision for the community? What will be your dream scenario for 6 months from now on?
I'm always a very optimistic person. I think my dream vision, maybe in general, is for it to be the best place on the internet to talk about HR technology, which is, it sounds like a very niche topic, but then you start to realize that the vast majority of companies in the world need to buy this stuff. And you start to realize very quickly how large it can become. In 6 months, I'd love to have a few thousand members. We have a really strong brand in the HR community. We have 30,000 people a month that come to our website. And so I think we have a lot of really good tailwinds to ride to grow this aggressively. I'm actually honestly like looking for somebody who's like a real partner, who's going to be like, hey, Phil, that's way too conservative, or hey, Phil, that's never going to happen. Like let's shoot for 500 engaged members or whatever the case may be. And we're really looking for that expert to own this thing.
Very good. So a few comments before we go. So something very, very nice. We love these sessions to bring people together. So Amanda says, Phil, I'm a business strategist and community manager right in Providence. So excuse my ignorance of the area. Probably it's around the corner from where you are. And what we have from Thomas, struggling to find a scheduling tool, depending on what side of the Atlantic you are. Our agency so totally believe in this. So we do too. So Phil, time is up for us, but it has been an absolute pleasure having you here. And I sincerely hope that this introduction and this session leads to some great talks and some great people that you will meet and will help you in your journey. Wishing you all the very, very best from Europe and all the best in this process that we're all in it together. So hopefully it will be a thing of the past. And all the very best in your endeavors and your company.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This is awesome. Have a good day.
All the very best. Thank you. So some really, really cool stuff going on here. So right now we are back on track with our plans. So the next person is Kassandra. So I'm going to call her up on the screen from the Hardware Club. Kassandra, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thanks. And how are you?
Good. Just in a slightly cloudy Paris.
Cloudy Paris. Paris is always a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Indeed.
When there's not a pandemic.
Yeah, it is the pandemic. We're all in the same.
We're all there.
Context.
Yep.
So, but it is great to have you here, and definitely really, really looking forward to what you would like to share about the Hardware Club. And the format is, as you may have seen from the previous presenters, is we have about 5 minutes to talk about whatever you wish about your company, about your community team, the role, what you're really looking for, how that fits in your plans. And we leave the next 5 minutes for any questions that the audience might actually have. And I'm going to be here to help you out if there's any problems.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Excited to be here. So my name is Kassandra, and I'm the Community and Platform Lead at Hardware Club, HCVC. So HCVC is Hardware Club VC, and we're a small venture capital fund that invests in hardware startups. So anything that's full stack, going to have some sort of physical piece, but also data and data collection and software behind it. And the inspiration for this was because it's just a hard space to be in, and that you have to figure out logistics and manufacturing. So it makes it there's just extra challenges for founders who are going into this area. So actually our community hardware club was created first about 6 years ago now. And the idea being was just to create connections between founders. Our founders of the actual club noticed that they were advising people individually, and then when they brought all these founders together, they realized that they didn't have a role to play. They actually just, that the knowledge shared between founders and the peer-to-peer mentoring was something really valuable. So the club has since grown. We have over 550 startups now worldwide, and they're, I mean, mostly Europe and North America, but we're getting more and more in Australia and different parts of Asia. So that's the main part of the club. But then from there, they noticed that one of the biggest challenges for these type of startups was funding. So then they created the fund. So it's kind of two-tiered. The fund, we have about 30 startups that we've invested in. But then on my side, where you'll be actually working in right now is on the community. So, I mean, I say it's the fun part because I like the community aspect, but it's working with the founders. So we have an online community, we do in-person events. Well, not right now, that's on hold. We have a Slack, we have a platform. We have 200 different partners that we also manage that help our community members. So main job is just helping create ways for our community members to engage with each other. So it's a closed community that we're looking more in building engagement as opposed to having exponential members. Like, we really want people who care about hardware to be there. And right now we're looking for an intern. So someone who is actually in school, because in France you need to have a specific status to be an intern, but we're looking for someone to help because we're actually transitioning to a new platform. We're using Hivebright. I don't know if anyone's used that before, but formerly we had, our platform was homemade, which is great, but we're not platform specialists. So there's lots of flaws. So we're in the process of transitioning to a new one. So great opportunities to communicate and set up fun ways to gamify the community and engage them. So we're looking for someone who can really help with that, but then also help with communications more broadly for the fund and for our community, because we're not great at that. So we're looking for someone who has the inspiration to work with founders, be involved with community, but then also has some social media experience or communications experience that would be helpful for us to set up our platform to have the proper communication and emails going out for every time we have events and things like that, but also for external communications as well. So someone who's great communicator, likes community, and helping founders. So I think that's about the 5 minutes.
Indeed, yes. Kassandra, thank you very much. This is so exciting, and obviously being able to work in Paris is just, it's a beautiful thing on its own.
Oh yes, also, sorry,
yeah.
just real quick, this is, it says Paris on the job thing I just shared. We're in Paris. If you can come to Paris, that's great, but we're also open, given the current, to a remote, someone working remotely. So it's, you don't have to be here or be able to relocate. There we go.
Fantastic. That's actually a good stuff. So actually this partly answered Linda's question. That's the first question that we've received. Linda's asking, is this a remote position or based in France? So that's answered. So maybe it might be worth expanding. Are you accepting anybody outside France for this? Or
yeah, people can apply from, I mean, we have one of our partners for the firm is in California. We have someone who's in New York right now for the initial training. At like Europe time zone is also nice, just because that's most of the team is based in Europe. So it's convenient, but we've had members all over the place, even pre-pandemic. So yeah, not limited to France.
Cool. So, and the important question is, how important are the French language skills for this position?
0. Everything is in English. So, yeah. I mean, if we can, you know, by chance in the fall do an in-person event, or you know, the summer, it might be nice for coordinating some type of catering or something, but no, for the most part, it is not. The working language is French. The community is all, or sorry, working language is all English at the office and with colleagues, and our community is all in English as well.
Fantastic. Well, that's actually quite a good good thing to have, because it is, when you're actually working in France, maybe it might be a deal breaker at times, the language skills as such. So it's important that these are all cleared up. So Linda says thanks. So just looking at the list of questions, there are no other questions right now. I was going to ask you if you were able to share the job description on the actual chat, and you just have done that, and that is great. So it is on CMX Hub's job section. So we have a few more minutes in case somebody would like to ask questions. So just double checking, going on one, going on two, that sort of things. So sometimes people, especially it's in the middle of a working day over here in EMEA, so it might be that they may not have had the opportunity to write down the questions. So just making sure that everybody's questions are answered. So just looking at it. So when are you expecting this person to start? Maybe that just came to my mind.
Yeah, it'd be great. We're looking for someone to start as early as beginning of May would be ideal. So soon.
Soon indeed. So
yeah,
fantastic. So I don't think there are any other questions. So it looks like we have all the questions answered right now. So Kassandra, I sincerely hope that you find the person that you're looking for. It really looks like an amazing job, and it's an opportunity to work with a global team, and of course based in Europe in a beautiful place. Hopefully after COVID with everyone. So I hope everything works well, and we all stay safe, and we just don't have to deal with this stuff anymore, where we just focus on the communities and bringing value to people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And if anyone has questions, I'll also just post my email there as well.
Fantastic. I was going to say, if there's any possibility of you putting the LinkedIn to your profile or Twitter handle, anything public that you would like to share where people can actually get in touch.
Perfect. I'll post both. All right. Thank you so much.
All the very best, Kassandra. Thanks very much, and all the very best.
Yep. Thanks.
So here we are. Time just sort of flew by, and we have our final guest today, and it's from a company that I know very well because I've been using them, Typeform. So Gabriel is with us. So let's get Gabriel up. Gabriel, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I can see
right.
you.
Okay, that was hard.
Exactly. There's been a little bit of a clog in one of the cables,
It's all right.
But Gabriel, Typeform is, I don't want to sound biased, but it's a dear company to me. So it would have been really, really bad if I didn't, get to meet you on the screen. So, so thanks everyone for your patience. And Gabriel, very nice to meet you. And straight into the session, because obviously we don't have that much time left with the little delay that we had. Thanks for having us. You've probably seen the previous presenters. So we normally have about 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes is for you to talk about the company, the community role, anything you would like really. And then basically we just leave about 10 minutes to the attendees to ask you the questions about the job or anything else that they would like to know. And if we don't have time, I'm just going to be saying right now, if you could leave also as we look at the questions, your contact details if you'd like to share, maybe some public Twitter handle or something like that, and the job description, and then people can actually follow up.
Okay, perfect. So I'll keep it short. Thanks for having me. I will share on the chat all that information afterwards. So I'll focus on the role and Typeform at the moment. The last time I attended at CMX, it was 6 years ago in San Francisco. It's been a long time. But yeah, so Typeform, Typeform it's you could think that Typeform is just about forms and online forms and surveys, but it's actually a lot more than that. The whole concept of the company was to disrupt the online form and survey sector, because traditionally it could be quite boring and daunting to get a survey. Every time you get a survey, oh, another survey, 20 questions per page. The UI looks pretty boring. It's just not a great experience. So the whole concept of Typeform is about making forms a conversation and basically offering a great experience. So making form filling, if you like, enjoyable. Is it possible? Yes, Typeform can do that. And if you have filled the Typeform before, actually you will realize that it's a much better way to do this type of interaction online. So we're shifting from forms to conversations, and now we are calling Typeform a conversational platform as opposed to a form software. And we have a couple of products, not only Typeform, we have Video Ask as well, which is via video, so it's interaction through video. So yeah, that's Typeform. I mean, it's a great company. It's based in Spain, the headquarters, but we have an office in San Francisco, and we're starting out some type hubs, which is basically we're going to start opening little offices all over the world because of the new remote first approach. So yeah, just having folks all over, better, more talent. We have access to more talent, and we can work with less barriers to work together, let's say. Right. About the role. So we launched the community. Typeform launched in 2013, I believe, and we launched the community actually this year, only a couple of months ago. Right. We launched, and it's been pretty successful. I've been in the business of community for quite some time, and I followed. I had the. I was building communities as a consultant in the UK for quite some time, and I was thinking, hey, I want to do this myself again. I want to put everything I've learned in the field of consultancy and different communities, and I want to do this myself again. So I did this with Typeform, and I have to say we've been quite successful. So it's growing quite fast, and I need help. That's the best way to put it. So I need I'm looking for an online specialist, online community specialist. So someone that has been in the game of communities for a couple of years, 2-3 years, that is ready for a new challenge and can help me basically execute a strategy. So I'm the community, let's say the head of community at Typeform, or at least the main driver. And I need someone who's been there, done that, and can help me execute the strategy and help me grow this community to where I want it to be. I think at the moment, again, growing fast, but it's still is the first quarter of the community, and it's still early days. So you can join a project which is quite green in the sense that we just launched it, but it has a massive potential, and I have very ambitious plans for it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic place. And yeah, I think that's you want to see the community as community.typeform.com, and again, it's just a start, but it's looking very bright. I don't know if I missed anything, but if I have, I prefer people to ask me questions than cover everything myself.
Fantastic. Look, even under the circumstances, it's been great, and I believe, and I love Typeform as a product. I just use it. It is so cool. So it's great to see the person behind it, the community itself. So Thomas has got a question, so it's important we answer it before the top of the hour when the next session starts. So Thomas is asking, who are your most engaged community members, and how can the community team best support them?
Who are the most engaged community members? Right. I mean, we just launched, and we did a beta version that was private, and then we went public, right? So when we did the beta version, we managed to actually engage a few pioneers. So we have 3 or 4. We are so lucky that we launched, and we already have 3 or 4 very engaged members. Then there's someone in Canada, another guy in Australia. I'm not going to name names here. You can go into the community, you will see the leaderboard, you will see them there. There's someone in the UK. So it's a global community as well. That's important to say. So they use Typeform to run their business. So this is what you need to think about Typeform. It's not a form fill-in software. You can run your business on Typeform. So what are we doing to keep them engaged? Basically, we are trying to remove all the roadblocks that they have when they use Typeform. So this is the first goal that we have in the community. We want to make sure that whenever people hit a roadblock when using Typeform or connecting Typeform to whatever that may be, to another tool, they can ask someone else who has been there and done that how to do it. So this is the value we're adding to people, is like, we want to connect these people together because they are facing the same roadblocks, and this is the main kind of organic value that the community has brought right away. So we want more people in there sharing their roadblocks or their challenges and connecting with others. So we're connecting people together. That's how we are bringing value, and we also bring in pretty good content. So there's a content specialist working with me as well, working with Typeform people, how to bring the best content to the community, and also how to use community generated content to help others. So it's pretty much a win-win.
Fantastic. So very, very quickly, let's see if we can finish this very quick fire questions. So I missed a question from Joanna saying, she's asking, what are the 3 qualities that you're looking for in an ideal candidate for this role? So 3.
Right. Okay. Proactivity. Right. Leadership.
Yes.
Leadership is needed to following in the community. And the third would be a go-getter in a way, which is similar to proactivity. As you can see, it's a leader and someone that can see things that before the others, right? Someone that really wants to build a community from scratch and is hungry to for a challenge like this.
Yeah. So final question, is this position remote or only in Spain?
Right. So that's a good question, because I guess it will narrow things down. It's remote within Spain. So you have to be in Spain, but it is remote. You can be the Canary Islands. That's not a bad place to be. You could be in Menorca. I don't care. You could be, for all I care, in Barcelona, Seville, Malaga. So that's how it's been worked out, the position. However, if you're really interested, you want to know more, you just hit me up on LinkedIn and we can speak, right? I think if you're a fantastic candidate, I can always go to Typeform and knock on a few doors.
So the next session has just come up. So Gabriel, thank you very much. Thanks everyone for your understanding. I'm going to take you off the stage right now. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm stopping recording now. So just getting to the next stage. So be sure to stop by the photo booth. And thanks for joining. I hope it has been fantastic for you. And I hope to see you in the next sessions, and all the very best.